The kids have like an hour left because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to. Okay?
Run me through these allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, because from the sounds of it, he's in a fair bit of trouble.
There are many and various charges against him. The three main ones are racketeering, basically extortion, sex trafficking, and the transportation of people across state lines for prostitution.
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
So if we look at those different charges, racketeering on its own could be a life sentence. The sex trafficking is 15 years minimum, and the transportation for prostitution purposes is 10 years minimum. So yeah, if he gets like even the minimum of those, I mean, he's done for. He was offered a plea deal, and the plea deal would have seen him pleading guilty to a number of those charges, not all of those charges, and that would have meant that he would have got a lesser sentence. So he would have almost certainly still done jail time, but there may have been for him a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel that he could have got out, before his life expires. He has decided not to do that. He's said he's not taking the plea deal, so trial commences.
You're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
He was notorious for his partying. He hasn't denied that he was a big party goer. He had many, various notable people. But in particular, these freak-off parties, the allegations against him is they're essentially days-long sex parties, right? In fact, when the police raided his mansions in LA and Miami, they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. His lawyer at the time said, look, he was just buying in bulk, it's a sensible thing to do.
You need locks on the doors?
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
So the indictment that's being filed by the federal court accuses Diddy of abusing, threatening, and coercing women and others to fulfill his sexual desires and to conceal that conduct. And there has been a huge amount of allegations. The trial will look at 4 victims. So there'll be 4 alleged victims who will take to the witness stand and be cross-examined. But there has been many, many lawsuits, something about 70 that have been filed here.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
Well, Diddy was, of course, arrested last September. He's been behind bars ever since at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. Do we know much about the conditions inside that place and how Diddy's coping?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Hilton, It's not somewhere you want to go. Look, it has a lot of famous people there, don't get me wrong, Luigi Mangione, the guy who's accused of shooting the CEO on the street of Manhattan, he's currently in that detention center. Ghislaine Maxwell, she was there. Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto guy who's gone down, he was there. R. Kelly was there as well. So it's a bit of a prison of the rich and famous in the US, but by all accounts, not great. It's in a part of Brooklyn which is a bit shabby. It's an old port area, so no, it's not a great place that you want to spend much time at. If he does actually end up going down, then he won't stay there. That detention center is basically a pre-trial place that you go to. He'll end up somewhere else. But yeah, it's probably not like any of his mansions that he
I think that's fair to say. I wonder if he's throwing any parties behind bars.
Y'all know y'all gonna have to turn up tonight, right? All right, now. Ain't no party like a Diddy party.